Welcome back to DIY with Jeannie. I'm Jeannie, and we've been doing a lot of sewing, we've been doing a lot of crafting, and what I've decided to try is once a month I will get a subscription box that has a sewing or craft function in it, and we will do the unboxing and then we will do the craft in the next video. So I started off with um, it is a sewing kit since I've been working on all of the uh, kitchen sets with the towels and hot mitts and so on. I decided to go with the plastic baggie holder to make with the same fabric for everyone and to put up for sale. This cloth bag that would hang that you could put your grocery bags in and then pull one at a time out the bottom. So that I decided that would be a good craft to go along with what we've been already working on, and we're getting better at that. We're throwing in some other techniques in there, things that I want to try, things that I want to give you helpful hints on, things that I mess up and tell you how I messed up so that maybe we can all get better together. This is from the Sewing Shop TN they're out of Tennessee, and they are on Etsy, and they put together kits, but they also have fabric and other things online. So I decided to purchase this kit because, like I said, it has that baggie holder, and I think the kit cost me about $25. So I will try to put the link in. I don't think it's still for sale, but I'll try to put the link for at least their shop in the description. So let me show you some of the things that it has in it. The first thing it had in it were these little appliques that you could put on things that you made for other people. I made this, made by a creative genius, handmade keepsake. I've had my own made with my group name, which is Gigi Rees, and it says made by Gigi Rees, so that when I sell items that I make, I can sew my tag on, and everybody will know where to go back and look for it. And so that was my idea. But if you're making things for friends, this is a really good way to do it. Shows them that you made it. The second thing we got was they're elastic threaders. And this one has this gather at the bottom where it's got elastic in it. And this will help us feed it through the channel and get that elastic in after we've sewn it so that the elastic fits and it goes in that channel and we don't have to worry about missing it with the sewer foot. So this goes in a channel just like the elastic on waistbands and stuff. That would be the larger one, and you use whichever one your particular elastic fits. So there's 3 different ones. I recently bought a bodkin, does the same thing, but it's much smaller, and I'm hoping these will be easier, but having both will not hurt. The next thing is to ensure that you have a 1/4-inch seam when you're cutting your own quilt pieces out. You know what you want the block to be, but you've got to add your seam allowance. And this will help you add the correct seam allowance on your edges. So this is really helpful if you're doing a 1/4 inch. Also to help you understand how much a 1/4 of an inch is. The next thing was the seam ripper, and I looked at it and I'm like, I don't get it. But what it is, it's really kind of cool. I'll show you. It has your seam ripper inside. So you have your seam ripper, but this top is kind of rubbery, and you rub it over your project or your work surface or wherever you are, and it helps you pick up all of those random threads that you have laying everywhere because it has the grooves, but the rubber part helps grab it. So that I thought was really cool, and I'm kind of excited about it because as I'm learning more techniques, I'm using my seam ripper a whole lot more. And that's just the nature of the beast. You can either leave it or you can rip the seam, and it depends on how important it looks to me for me to decide which one I'm going to do. Now the next thing is a friction highlighter. Now I told you about the friction pens, but they have markers, highlighters, they have all kinds of different pens, and they are erasable. And let me show you that on the box because I haven't really explained how it works. But if you remember the old erasable pens that we used to get, we never got highlighters that were erasable. But you write on it, and then basically to get it to erase, you had to rub a hole in your paper. But this just erases pretty much cleanly right off. It is also washable, it'll wash off, but heat is something else that will take that pen right off. So there's that. It's the same eraser no matter which, but for the highlighter, does exactly the same thing. It erases directly off, and it's all gone, and it didn't ruin my paper. So I use these at school a lot. I love these. So just having the highlighter for my sewing box is fabulous. Now, for the project itself, you get 2 coordinating threads. You get this kind of seafoam color and this cream or light oatmeal color, and those will go with the fabric they sent us for the project. This is the fabric for the project. You have your rickrack, which is in that same color family. You have your ribbon. You have your elastic. And then for the outer part, we have this very farmhouse looking fabric. It's got your preserves and your mitts and your scale and your mixer and your measuring spoons and all kinds of things. And it's all kind of wiggly wobbly all over it. They're not in a straight pattern, so the direction doesn't matter on this fabric. Direction makes a huge difference. I was looking at another one that I wanted to do for my son and his wife, and it was directional, and it was cut in the wrong direction, so I'm not going to be able to use it, or it would be sideways. And while she might like it, that would always bother me every time I saw it. Now the inner fabric for this one is this loose woven. It's not really that loose, but it has the appearance of a looser woven fabric, and that will go on the inside of the project. So we'll have these 2 for the project, the decorative rickrack, the ribbon, and the elastic, all ready for us. It's cut. We'll just measure it and make sure it's trimmed well, which I'm sure it is. And then we can make that project. And that's the next thing we will be doing, is making this project. Close it back up so I keep it all together. They also sent in this kit 4 extra fat quarters. And a fat quarter is, I think it's 18 by 20. Let me double check that. It's 18 by 22. So it really is a quarter of a yard. So we have this. It looks like it's very loose woven, but it's not. It's a good cotton. We have this. Looks like a waffle weave, but again, it is the quilting cotton. We have this kind of looks like tea stained fabric in a yellowish color. And then we have this one that is also, it's almost floral looking. I don't know if you can see that. So those are the additional fat quarters that just go into our stash. And I already have plans for some of these. So these will be made, same idea. They'll be used to make a bag holder, but it will go, I've been making those sets, and I've been making them for families, so I'm a little behind on Christmas. But I sent them Christmas, but I told them that they would be getting the sets at the first of the year. So I'm still making those. You start making stuff, and everybody's like, well, I really like that. And I appreciate that, because that makes my life easier. But then we go about making it. So that is what came in the kit. I thought it was an excellent deal. If you spent a little bit more money, you got free shipping. And so my thought was I could spend whatever the shipping is, roughly, and get free shipping and more fabric, or I could just pay for the shipping. Well, I am a fabric hoarder, and they had this fabric, which I fell in love with. Is this not the most adorable fabric you have ever seen? For me, this reminds me of those pink iced, or the white iced animal crackers. And I love those things. Oh, I love those things. So it's kind of like almost a white chocolate around the outside, and then it's got the little Jimmy, the little nonpareils, the little dots all over it, and I just love them. And that's what this reminded me of. Now, do I have a clue what I'm going to do with this? No, I do not. They have one more color, and it's blue background, so I could have gotten the whole set, and I probably will because I can't stand the thought that I don't have the blue one. But I got these, and I'll probably at some point make a quilt block using, or more than one quilt block, but using these fabrics because I just think they're adorable, and I don't mind a quilt that's not all the same. I would rather practice making different quilt blocks and then have a large quilt that I made that shows all the different ways that I have quilted, and I think that would be kind of cool. So that is an idea. So this is another thing that we're going to do monthly is I'm going to order a kit online. We'll do an unboxing. For me, this was more than worth the money to get a good fabric quilt, fat quarter. You're going to spend a little bit of money. You should look that up. But, I mean, if you're going to go to Joann's and just get one of their little fat quarters, that's one thing. But if you're going to get fabric that is from a quilting store, from a true place where a lot of hand sewers go, it's going to cost you a little bit more, and it's going to be a little different. And that's what I really do like, the idea that my fabric is not like everybody else's. I've been using Spoonflower. I got some fabric from them that I ordered to make family gifts with because I like the idea of the newness and the uniqueness and having a gift that you can't just go to Joann's and buy the fabric and do it yourself. It takes a little extra legwork, and I really like that. So we will be doing things like this. We will be doing garments. We will learn to draft our own patterns. I've got one in mind coming up. We will be using free patterns online, and I'll tell you where to go get them. So, yeah, that's kind of what our year is looking like. It is going to be reclaimed items. It's going to be new kits in a box. It is going to be, some things that maybe you are way outside your comfort zone, because as I learn stuff outside my comfort zone and mess it up, I'm going to share those thoughts with you and what I should have done, what I could have done, and hopefully we will all learn to be better sewists together, or crafters, or whatever. It won't always be a sewing kit. It's going to be kind of an across-the-board idea, but I do want to share things with you that maybe we're uncomfortable trying, but we're going to try it anyway. So next time we will be putting together our first bag, plastic bag holder, and then we will, I'm not sure where it'll go from there. I think we might try making a bucket hat. I ordered a Vans backpack that I thought was really cute with some additional fabric. It's going to make an adorable bucket hat. And that pattern was free from Mood, yes, the fabric store from Project Runway, and you can order from them online, and they are amazing, and I'll be sharing everywhere that I get patterns. So this from the Sewing Shop TN on Etsy. I will list it in the description, but that's what we have today, and I look forward to making it with you next time. Have an amazing day, and thanks for spending time with me. If you haven't yet, please like the video and subscribe, and let me know what you do like. What would you like to see us work on? What kind of craft would you like to learn? I'll tell you right now, I cannot crochet and I cannot knit, and it's not because I don't have the ability. I used to do it, but I have arthritis in my hands, and it makes that repetitive action kind of painful. So those are the two things I don't do. I can send you to people who do, but please come back for us. Let me know, like I said, let me know, what would you like to see? Would you like to see oil paints? Would you like to see watercolor? Would you like to see woodcraft? Would you like to see paper crafts? Would you like to see something just random? Let's just pick a subscription and try it. Let me know, because once a month, I really do want to do a subscription of something either inside or outside of our comfort zone, and let's see what happens. We might find we love it. See you next time.